Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today we are diving into a critical stability issue within The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We at Teknobalta analyzed the logs provided regarding sudden crashes during equipment changes and fast travel. The problem occurs randomly while moving between areas, swapping gear, or even when closing the game manually. We noticed that the system triggers a Windows crash notification immediately after the game process terminates. To solve this, we first examined the PML log file using Process Monitor. A PML file allows us to see every file system and registry access the game makes before it fails. We at Teknobalta found that the crashes are heavily linked to the DX12 implementation in the next-gen update. The user was specifically running the game with RT and Ultra settings enabled. RT, or ray tracing, adds significant load to the GPU and requires precise memory management. In many cases, these crashes are caused by a conflict between the graphics API and specific middleware features. One of the primary suspects in The Witcher 3 is NVIDIA HairWorks. While HairWorks provides realistic hair physics, it is known to cause instability on certain DX12 configurations. We confirmed that disabling the hair setting in the graphics menu completely resolved the crashing issue. This happens because HairWorks calculations can sometimes overlap with RT ray traversal tasks. When the GPU scheduler fails to prioritize these tasks correctly, it leads to a driver timeout or TDR. Let us break down the step-by-step solution to ensure your game remains stable. First, launch The Witcher 3 and navigate to the Options menu. Go to the Video Settings, and then select Graphics. Locate the NVIDIA HairWorks setting and switch it to off. We at Teknobalta also recommend turning off HairWorks anti-aliasing if you choose to keep the main setting on. However, for absolute stability on DX12, keeping it entirely off is the safest path. If the game continues to crash, we need to look at the graphics API itself. The next-gen update offers both DX11 and DX12 versions. While DX12 supports ray tracing and DLSS, it is inherently more demanding on system resources. DX11 is much more stable for older hardware or systems with driver conflicts. To switch, open the red launcher before the game starts and select DX11. Note that switching to DX11 will disable ray tracing features. We at Teknobalta analyzed that most crashes during equipment changes are related to UI rendering in DX12. When you open the inventory, the game loads high-resolution 3D models of Geralt and his gear. This sudden spike in VRAM usage can trigger a crash if the memory is already near its limit. To mitigate this, ensure your GPU drivers are fully updated to the latest version. We recommend a clean installation using DDU or Display Driver Uninstaller. This removes any corrupted driver fragments that might interfere with DX12 execution. Another technical factor is the Windows Game Mode and hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling. For some users, disabling hardware-accelerated GPU scheduling in Windows settings helps with DX12 stability. However, this might slightly reduce your average frame rate. We at Teknobalta also suggest checking your overlay software. Steam, GOG Galaxy, and Discord overlays can sometimes conflict with the game's hook into the graphics driver. Try disabling all overlays to see if the random crashes during fast travel persist. Fast travel involves loading a massive amount of data into the system, RAM and VRAM simultaneously. If your page file size is too small, Windows might terminate the process to prevent a system hang. We recommend letting Windows automatically manage the paging file size for all drives. Let us look at the specific error mentioned in the forum, the crash upon manual exit. This is often a sign of a memory leak or a thread that failed to close properly. When you close the game, it tries to release all allocated resources. If a background process like HairWorks is still calculating physics, the shutdown sequence fails. By turning off HairWorks, you allow the engine to close threads more cleanly. We at Teknobalta also suggest verifying the integrity of game files. On Steam, right-click the game, go to Properties, then Installed Files, and click Verify. This ensures that no corrupted assets are causing the engine to trip during cell loading. If you are using mods, please be aware that many older mods are not compatible with the v4.0 update. Script conflicts are a major source of crashes when changing equipment. We recommend using the Witcher script merger to identify and fix these conflicts. For users on high-end hardware, ensure your power supply is providing stable voltage to the GPU. Ray tracing causes power spikes that can trigger a system-level protection if the PSU is insufficient. This often looks like a game crash, but is actually a hardware safety measure. In summary, the primary fix for the reported issue is disabling NVIDIA HairWorks in the graphics settings. This simple change stabilizes the DX12 pipeline and prevents the memory access violations seen in the logs. We at Teknobalta are committed to helping you achieve the best performance in your favorite titles. If these steps solved your problem, please let us know in the comments. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more expert technical solutions and deep dives into PC troubleshooting. Stay technical, and we will see you in the next